Hello there, folks, and welcome to the stream. My name is Mike D'Angelo, aka That Tellest Guy, and we are back today doing maps. Rihanna was not feeling up to doing a Talking Tellest today, but we're going to do a mini Talking Tellest either tomorrow or Wednesday. So we're switching up the schedule. It's a very busy week for us this week because we have the first of two live events in 2 weeks, and we did an earlier one 2 or 3 weeks ago in Lehigh. That was a 1 day. This is the first of 2-3 days that we're about to do this upcoming weekend. So we're trying to prepare for that, and Brianna's been working her butt off trying to put all that stuff together. So we're giving her the day off. It's much deserved. So what we decided to do was pivot to maps today instead of one of those 2 days, tomorrow or Wednesday, and we are looking at the the second floor, which is the first basement in Becka Tigress's greenhouse map that she's been working on for us. So you can tell, it's just about as big as the map that came above. We've got a little bit of this little border area that's showing, it kind of compresses a little bit the further you go down. This would be where the trapdoors from the floor before opens into, and then immediately when you come down here, you can see this person is playing with some carnivorous plant beasties and stuff like that, and some other weird, like wild plant life and stuff like that. So right off the bat, you see some pretty cool points of interest. If you turn around once you're down the stairs, you've got this alchemy table. If you're brave enough to try and venture past this huge humongous beastie, down here you've got where the greenhouse attendant lives and sleeps and stuff like that, and then they've got a bunch of goodies back here, tons and tons of potions, some food stuff, things like that, and then these vats of strange stuff. I feel like the size of this is indicative of it's much smaller in many cases. That's about the size. I wonder if this looks like it might be from the watercolor set, right? Because if I'm taking that down, let's check it out. Yep, I feel like that's where we got it from, perhaps. One of these guys, maybe. Or maybe not. Because it's definitely not from that stuff. But it is called technical glassware, so let's try and see if we can't find it. Ooh, I wonder if it's sci-fi. I did notice that on the third basement, which we'll look at later, we see some other stuff that that looks a little bit like... Yeah, that's what it is. So we're in the technical stuff, so we got a little bit more sci-fi stuff going on. She does like to incorporate those things in there, but it ends up looking really good. So you can kind of make it look steampunky in some cases. Right now, that's perfectly fine. I feel like the sizes are pretty on point. These crates are kind of big. The plants are kind of big, but they're, I think it's to be expected in this weird little place that everybody is. The barrels are okay. The chairs are okay. The bed is, like an 8-foot bed. I feel like that's fine. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Plants, again, they're a little bit bigger. The stairs are big, but that's because the drawers are big. I think the only thing that might be a little bit off is the alchemy table, but I'm not miffed about it. That is 2, 3, 4.5. We'll say it's 4 because they're missing a little bit there. So it is a 20-foot long alchemy table, but again, there's a lot going on this map, and I think that's understandable. So what we're gonna do is a couple of variants, same thing as we did for the other map. I think we didn't make too many of the variants for the greenhouse on screen, but we'll do some of them here. One of the first things to work on, I think, let's call it Basement 1. I wonder if we can just change the map details. Don't worry about me. It's 80 degrees in here, so it does feel a little bit hot. Greenhouse, basement, no! Basement 1. Save that, and let's go back in. Don't you worry about a thing. We're going to save it as a clone. We're going to call this one unfurnished, and we're going to get rid of all the people elements. I mean, not necessarily all the people elements. We know that this is underground and stuff like that, so anything that doesn't have plant stuff. So let's do... We're going to lock the brick wall so that I don't accidentally grab that, but let's get rid of the lights too. And we'll leave those there, but let's get rid of the alchemy table and the light. And these boxes over here. I think we can leave those stairs, but let's get rid of this stuff here. Torches. Just a very easy way to give people a lot of content at one time. Okay, and then we'll leave the stairs there for that. And good. Real quick variant that we can add here, and then what we can do is we can build off of this and we'll make another variant that gets rid of the plant life as well. Okay, we'll get rid of that center bit, and then let's get rid of everything here except for the plant bed. That's it. And then we'll get rid of the exotic plants up here. And the liverwort. And the violent delights and the exotic plants. Should just have a couple things left. Alright, so there's our no plant life. So we'll save that, and then we're going to do one more where we get rid of the plant beds as well. Excuse me. We'll end up doing is we'll use these variants in this map for our Thursday release for Patreon, and I'll try and get that ready to go for distribution tomorrow so that I don't have to go crazy with it. They changed the brush tool. They're getting ready for Incarnate 2.0. It's coming right around the corner. It's going to make a world of a difference. I have a couple of maps that are waiting for Incarnate 2.0 to come out, so I'm excited. I've got partners that I've been working with who we didn't realize that like the custom layer tools were going to make it so that we couldn't share with each other, and that's going to It's going to change things for the better for sure. I can't tell. I'm thinking it was probably this. Just trying to discolor it in some ways so it's not all uniform. And a little bit more over here, I guess. And there we go. There's our no plant beds. Let's do a step out from there, and we'll make some other changes so that it's not just taking things away. Alright, so we've got the basement one over here. Let's do another clone and call it throw like a green gloom effect on here. Maybe throw some moss that's starting to, creep along the room. Excuse me. Alrighty, and let's go to our filter options. She actually already has a gloom and doom on here. Let's do... Let's get rid of the cool and warm and get rid of the vignette. I guess vignette can stay. Let's do one more. Corrupted essence. So we can keep the gloom and doom. And maybe what we do is mess with the percent of this a little bit. 50 is a good number. And then we'll toggle it to see how we like it. I feel like it's too subtle of a change. So we'll dive into it a little bit more. Do 75. And let's do... lily pads, green fay grass, let's do the ruins moss, change the texture to 30, let's change it so grimier looking. Okay, so I think that's doing what I'd like it to. Table like that. What we'll end up using is the top layer as well. We'll see if that looks right. Let's do a couple more spots here and there. And then what we're going to do is go to the lower opacity and kind of throw that in a couple places too. And come back around. We'll actually say that this is going through the wall, seeping into some of these things. Okay, and then let's bring the opacity down and spots here and there. I'll look a little bit more blended. Bits in here. A little bit seeping under the doorway. And a little bit more in here too. Alright. And now we got to do the top layer. So let's see how this looks, because it's not going to be, yeah, see, it's not marked by the same color pattern as the gloom and doom and everything like that. So we might have to darken it a little bit more in order to get it to look the right way for us. Oh, you know what? The only problem is I gotta be careful about that kind of stuff. Let's try this. And that way none of it's gonna spill off of the, you know what? I don't really like that so much. I'm gonna go back to the way I was doing it. Reason being is the pattern's very easy to spot at that point. Let's try all the way up. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into our erase mode and any of the spots that don't look fully realized. Stuff like that there, that needs to go. Get rid of that one too. Okay, and let's throw it together in a couple of more places. Might as well throw it on this chair over here. A little bit on this barrel. Some on this crate. Both of these guys. Let's see, nothing there is necessary. Let's see. I feel like that's not going to look right, but maybe little dabs here and there. And a little bit on here. Tiny bit more. A little too far in there. Let's throw a couple on this crate. A little bit more in there, shows that it's got some height. Gonna do some on this table. Same problem as we had above. shrink that baby down a little bit. Alrighty, and a couple more over here. And let's get some on the glassware up here. Alright, 160 changes is a pretty decent amount. Let's do a save for that. And there's one more thing I want to try. Let's see if I can pull it off. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need one more. Call it blue lights. So let's find all of our warm round lights and let us try and mess with the hue on these. Actually really like that already. Let's see if we can't get green though. There we go. And let's make everything look a bit darker. Maybe not quite that much. Let's grab one of those warm round lights. Throw them over top of that, and maybe a couple of these guys over here. Make them pop a little bit. Let's change to one of these guys. It does look like those specific little plants are the ones that are doing that with the light, so that's pretty cool. And if there's something that I can do in there as well. Might as well, right? There you go. It's just something simple. Save that, and then let's go to our show closing page. So folks, on the screen right now, you should see all the places that you can find Tellest out there on the internet. Tellest.com is a great first place to start because it'll bring you to all of our other projects. We have a couple of map-related websites that you can check out. Patreon.com/Tellest is a great first place to start because it'll bring you to all of our maps that we have at a low monthly rate. It's like $5 a month for high-res gridded and gridless versions of our maps, and $10 a month for 8 new maps plus all their variants in high-res gridded and gridless, plus a point of interest document, and then obviously you get all the existing maps that we already have. So that's a great reward for you. Great gift for people who play D&D online and want to get those maps that they can use like that. Tellest.etsy.com is where you're going to be able to find our physical maps. We're still hashing things out with our new partner for printing. We'll have that figured out after Comic-Con and the Renaissance Fair. And BattlemapFantasy.com will bring you to an a la carte set of our maps in digital form. So if you only want 1 or 2 maps, that's a great place to look. Plus, we have a lot of cool deals on there from time to time. For instance, we are going to be putting all of our maps on sale 80% off. Excuse me, 80% off because of the Fan Expo and Renaissance Fair these next 2 weeks. It'll start on, I believe, Thursday. We'll have to see. 2 TikTok channels for you to check out. At Tales of Tellest is where you can find our doggies, and at Weird Witch Wands is where you can find all the handcrafted goodies that Rihanna has been working on. Then we've got 2 video channels for you to check out. YouTube.com/@WorldOfTellest and Twitch.tv/ThatTellestGuy. Those will bring you to all the videos that we're putting up week to week. Twitch only has them up there for 4 weeks, so you'll want to make sure that you head over to YouTube to check out our stuff well after it's moved off the platform. That's going to wrap us up for today. We will be back either tomorrow or Wednesday or both to do more work in the Tellest universe. But until then, I miss you.